Welcome to the session 5 of the third chapter. So the next important topic is basic internetworking. So basic internetworking, in a short form we call it as an internet protocol. So in the previous session we saw that it was possible to build a reasonable large number of LANs using bridge and LAN switches. But these approaches were limited by a scale and heterogeneity. That's the disadvantage of a bridge we see in the previous session. Okay, this section can be overcome with such kind of a problem. The main problem is a heterogeneity problem and a scale. Okay, so as I told you, bridge, switch and router, they have a different things. Bridge is connection of the to the maximum of 2 or 3 kinds of 2 or some few, you can say it as a few bridges it can be connected, that is a bridge. Switch, I could say many LANs. Understand the terms, many LANs, these are all the few LANs. Okay, so these the bridge connecting of the few LANs and the switch connecting the many LANs. These are the multi-input and a multi-output. Bridge is also multi-input and a multi-output. So what happens, switch, it can connect only a LANs, okay, or Ethernet to the Ethernet. So that is a limitation of the bridge and the switch. But whereas the router, I want to connect a Ethernet to I want to connect this to the some LAN, or I want to connect to the some point to point network. So such kind of connecting a heterogeneous network, we use routers. Okay, so in previous session I mentioned switch and routers are same. No, but work is same, but for the scale and heterogeneity is different. Switch for a limited LANs and router is for a networking, connecting of a different network. This one we use as a routers. Okay, continuing. For a connection of the heterogeneous kind of a network, we use a router. So such kind of a connecting a network completely, we call this as an internetworking. Okay, so this one is the internetworking. Understood? To connect, or else we call it as a, for connection of a network we use a switches. Okay, and the connection of the many network we use a routers. I hope there is a no doubt now. For a bridge of few LANs, switch for a many LANs, and router for a different network. This is an internet. So now how this internet protocol will work, for a how the router will guide, what is the packet format. See, this network may follow the different packet format, and this may follow the different packet format. Okay, and this one size may different. So these are all the some disadvantage are there. For this one, what's the solution the router will provide, and how we overcome this thing, that is the routing protocol. This is an internetwork. Okay, router also we call it as the gateway. Now suppose there is a thing about host H5 to H8, I want to pass the packets. Suppose H5 is of a type 802.1, one of the LAN. This, from this one I want to pass to the another router which is of a type like a ETH. So from ETH, it will be received in the 802.11. This has to be converted into the ETH form, and the ETH, it will be router 2. It is also received in the form of a ETH is nothing but the Ethernet form. Okay, this one, the respective IP and the ETH. Okay, this ETH has to be given to the respected 802.11 or something. So what we observe, this is of a different technology, this is of a different technology, and this is of a different technology. While passing, we have to make sure that this has to be in the receivable state. Okay, and while here passing to the next router, we have to adjust the packet in such a way that it has to receive the packet. Like that, we have to design the packet, or we can make it as the fragment. Right, this here, this network size may different, this size may different. So to adjust the packet, we will go with the fragmentation. This is also one of the main job of a network. Okay, so here I am giving you the brief idea what we are going to study in this chapter. The fragmentation, the packet format. So these are all the things we have been I will be looking at this one. Now here, what are all the service it has to provide? Means service models. As a router, what are all the service it has to provide? Means first one is it has to provide an addressing scheme and a datagram model. Okay, so here while the packet is traveling from one kind of network to the another kind of network, it has to adjust the address in a such a way that it should contain the address of this R1, R2 and the destination. How you design the addressing, that is also one of the challenge. And the datagram here, how you merge those all information in a single packet. That may, because of the variation of the size, how you merge in the packet, that is also one of the challenging problem. So addressing scheme we will discuss in the next class, means in the next session. Now we'll see the what is a datagram. Okay, so it is nothing but a small packet. It is nothing but a small packet which carries enough information to let the network forward the packet to its destination. A small packet which will be having the complete information of the destination. If the packet gets lost or corrupted or misdelivered, it does not make any attempt to recover from the failure. This is called as unreliable. Okay. A packet is lost, now everything is some misdelivery happens, it won't try to recover that packet. This is unreliable. So to make it as a reliable, what we have to do? Network, we have to put lots of functionality into the routers. We give the numbering of the routers, that is the one camping, and we have to design the router in a such a way that it has to run on the any important any kind of a network. Like that, we have to design the router to make it as the reliable network. Okay, so this is the datagram, small packet. Now I said that packet from here to here, it has to travel. So what they have decided, they fixed the packet format into a one fixed kind of a format they have done. Packet format, so that every network which is connecting, they have to follow the same packet format. format. Whenever you want to pass the message from H5 to the H8, the packet in what way you have to define, that is defined by the packet format. There are actually two kind of a packet, IP4 and IPv6, version 4 and version 6. Here the difference is the it will carry 32 bits of address, and whereas this one it will carry the 128 bits of address. IPv6 you can see in the next session. So the here IPv4 packet format, this is quite important. So here let's see the diagram. Okay, IPv4 packet header. That IP header first from 0 to 4 bits, it contains the version, usually for version 4, that is the IPv4. Header length, only the what is the length of the header, that is the header length. TOS, that is nothing but the type of service, what kind of a service it wants, whether it is whether it is a data packet or an acknowledgement packet, like that. And the length is complete length of the packet, including the data, it is completely length of the packet. And identity number, flag and offset, this one we will look in while doing the fragmentation. This part we will discuss in the fragmentation. Okay. And TTL means time to live. It was said to specify the number of seconds that the packet would be allowed to live. So most routers just decrement the TTL by 1 as they forward the packet. If it is a 2, as they forward the packet. Okay, when a packet is forwarded by a router, the TTL, time to live, will be decremented to by 1. When it reaches the 0 means the packet has expired. By looking at this one, we will discard the message, that is also possible. So we have to make sure that we should not give a much TTM. If you give 1,000 seconds means it will be for decrementing, it will take a time. That's the thing they are telling. If it is too high, the packet circulate rather a lot, okay, before getting its dropped. Or else if it is too low means they may not reach the destination. So before reaching the destination, if it reaches the 0 means it will be completely discarded. That's why we have they come to the aggregation that the value is 64. Currently for default IPv4 it is a 64 second water TTL. Now the next field is a protocol. Protocol we use it for as a demultiplexing key that identifies the higher level protocol to which this IP packet should be passed. So by usually TCP, if it is a TCP, we use the identity number as a 6. If it is a UDP packet, we use the identity number as a 7. This one also we will see in the next session. And the checksum, okay, the checksum, internet checksum we use for error detecting purpose. Now that calculated value also we will send in a packet header. And of course source address and the destination address. Source address and the destination address, which is of 32 bits. Where, who is sending and where to send, this is the thing there. And there is some option variables are there, that one we will discuss in the upcoming session. This part and this part we will be discussing in the next session. And the data size to the maximum of a 65,535 bytes, the data this much of data it can pass. So we discussed with the only this header part, IPv4 header. Understood? This is the important IPv4 packet header format. The next session we will discuss the fragmentation